I had a dream where I was witnessing God receive people into eternal life. This dream occurred in a very large house. I know it's a very large house, but I didn't see the size of the house. I just know it was a very large house. And the dream starts that I'm in this room, in this house. And it's a very big room, it's infinitely big. And in this room, God is there, and he is sitting on a throne. He's sitting on his throne, I assume. And he's probably about as big as, compared to me, he's probably about as big as, say, for example, the Lincoln Memorial and the statue of Lincoln that's there. It's like that. He's sitting on a throne, and he's really big like that. And I remember being all white around him. But behind him, it was like infinite space, like infinite outer space. And he's sitting on this throne, and I'm at the base of this throne, on his left side at his feet. And I'm there, and I'm looking down. I'm not looking up at him. I'm looking down. I never look up. And all I'm doing is I'm there, and I'm listening, and I'm hearing what's happening. And I'm hearing God read off names of people that are being received into eternal life. And I'm in that room at the base of his feet, and I'm hearing all this happen. The scene changes, and now I'm in a hallway in the big house that this is all occurring. And the room that I was just in, where God was in, and he was receiving people into eternal life, that room is to my left now. And there's a door that leads into that room. But I'm standing in the hallway now, and that door's to my left. But to my right is another door. Okay. And it's a much smaller room. The room looks very small, like actually a regular sized room. Actually, for the size of this house, the room was pretty small. And I'm not in that room, but this time I'm in the hallway, and I'm looking into that room, and I see God there again. But this time, he's not sitting on his throne like he was in the other room. He's sitting on a chair, just a regular chair. Actually, it was like an office chair. And he's sitting there, and he looks like a regular man. In fact, he looked like a father in that room. And he's sitting on this, looks like office chair. And he looks very much like a dad. He's wearing dad clothes, if you know what I mean. And I'm only peeking into this room because the door to this room is cracked open. And I could see him there. And he's holding in his hand a piece of paper, some papers, and he's reading through them. Now, in this room, there is a girl standing there before God. And it's a young girl standing there before God. And he's sitting in that room. And the room looks like a teenager's room. Like he's sitting in... The best way I could describe it is like a dad sitting in their child's room and talking to their child. And as the Lord is sitting there, I see him holding some papers in his hands, and he's reading through them, and he's looking for something in what he's reading. Like he's trying to find something in the papers he's reading. And the child, or the person in the room, the young girl in the room that's standing before him, is just watching him as he's going through those papers. And although I don't really hear what God is saying in this scene, I do understand that he's trying to find some kind of hope for for this girl that's in this room, some hope for her. But to his dismay, he looks at the paper and he relents, and all I remember him saying is that there's nothing there. There's no hope here. And so the girl in the room, she's seemingly, I can't describe it. I could see her, and she's like, just kind of thrusting her hands up and down, like pleading maybe to find some hope. But again, God just continues to go through those papers in his hand, and he's looking down with sort of disappointment and relents and says there's nothing here, nothing that can be done. And my understanding is this, in this scene, God is pronouncing judgment on this young girl. And that's the end of that scene. So then the scene changes again, and now I'm in the room where this girl, where judgment was cast on this girl. I'm in the room now. And I'm like in both rooms now. I'm like, well, no, I'm in the room. Okay, we'll just say I'm in the room. But I remember I'm also in the other room because I see infinite space again. But I'm in this room, and all I can do now is I can hear this girl. I can hear her voice coming from nowhere. And she's describing where she's at. And all I remember her saying is that you have, these are the things she said. She says, you have no form, no shape, no nothing. And that's the end of the dream. It's my understanding that in the first part of this dream, I was witnessing, as I said, Christ receive people into eternal life. And in the second scene, I witnessed God casting judgment on one person, a young girl. And in the final scene, she described what it was like to be in eternal judgment or hell. And she described it as you having no form, no shape, no body, no nothing. And so all I can say is this: don't fear man, because man can merely take your physical body. But God, fear God instead, because he can take much, much more from you.